One particular characteristic of the empty quarter is it's actually no longer empty, it's actually being populated. And so that's a key characteristic of this particular region is it's growing. And as this particular graphic shows, people are on the move. And so areas or counties that are in green, particularly dark green, are areas that in 2015 and 2016 alone, so just 1 year, saw increases in population. So we see really throughout much of Colorado. And this is a characteristic especially in this particular area of Colorado. I'll come back and explain, well, what's there in that particular area? Utah, growing. We see that big time through there. Idaho, even Montana, particularly western Montana. Also in eastern Montana, you've seen growth. A little bit there in Wyoming, but Wyoming is kind of an anomaly, and it's just kind of growing, whereas the other areas of this particular region of the United States are actually booming. Very characteristic of this area, and I'll come back and I'll explain more. This is a boom-bust economy. And so when it booms, the economy booms, population grows. When it busts, of course, population slows down, or we see depopulation. Nevada, particularly here, Las Vegas and northern Nevada, in this particular area around Reno. So we have a particular pattern of 1 year or short-term growth in the empty quarter of the United States. But let's go ahead and look at over a course of a decade. And so here's from the United States Census Bureau, a decade of state population change. And so this is trying to show over the past 10 years, so areas that have these bar graphs in red, each of these is a year. So this is this is 10 years ago, and this is the most recent year. And so we can see in the case of Nevada how much of a population growth that's occurred here over the last 10 years, and we can kind of do so in relationship to the rest of the country, the other regions of North America. And so we can see the Foundry and the breadbasket, really very stable population growth. If anything, in some cases, depopulation, as we can see with there in Michigan. So here, this particular area, look at all these bar graphs. Look at all these tall bar graphs indicating a recent boom that's occurring in this particular area of the country. And so what's happened in general, Northeast and the Midwest are seeing slow population growth or depopulation at which is being offset by population gains here in the Rocky Mountains and the Intermontane West. And so this is a visualization essentially showing the last decade of population growth in this area. And so I'm trying to indicate here, even in Alaska, Montana, Idaho, all these particular states, they're no longer, can we say, they're the empty quarter in which nobody is moving there. In fact, they're actually some of the highest growth areas of the country.